welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Jamie. I'm a holistic chef and I have a background in nutrition and the culinary arts. And I'm just trying to help folks get healthier and inspire them for new recipes and ways to make life easier in the kitchen. So today is all about simple, healthy, home-cooked meals that are freezer friendly and they come together in a pinch and you can make them ahead and freeze them for days ahead, months ahead. So let's get cooking. Can't wait to share these with you. So here's the plan for the first one. My family loves stuffed shells, so we're gonna make that. I have a family of 4. So all we really need is this like 9x9 or is it 8x8 baking dish. And so I can make the shells ahead of time, just put in the fridge, and then when it's time for dinner, I'll just throw it in the oven. I'm gonna make a little extra and fill these baking trays up and then freeze them so that they'll be ready to go in the future when I don't wanna cook. And then I'll just take them out of the freezer, top them with the remaining cheese, and then stick it in. So you get your bang for your buck. So let me show you the recipe. So let's first get a large pot of water on the stove so we can start cooking our shells. So bring that to a boil and you'll need about 44 shells total. So for the sauce, I love jacking up jarred marinara from the store and just making it more tasty and nutritious with my add-ons like onion and garlic, for instance. So that's what we're doing here. So I just chopped half an onion and minced 3 cloves of garlic, and added a good glug of olive oil to a pan and just cook the onion and garlic till soft. Then you just simply add in the jarred sauce and simmer that while the shells cook. Then strain your shells. I love adding a little olive oil so they don't stick together. And then next up is the filling. You'll need a total of 1/2 cup of fresh parsley chopped. Now to a large bowl, add 15 ounces of full-fat ricotta cheese, 1 large egg, a 1/3 cup of shredded Parmesan, and 2 cups of shredded mozzarella, seasoned with salt and pepper. Add in a 1/4 cup of the chopped parsley, and I like adding in about a tablespoon of lemon zest. Lastly, I added a good shake of Italian seasoning. Mix it up well and learn from me, people. Be sure to use a hard spatula and nothing flimsy. So now it's assembly time. It's as easy as spreading the sauce on the bottom of the pan. And if you're interested in these pans, I'll link them below. I think they're about a 9-inch by a 6-inch. 8.5 by 6. And then they're like 2 inches deep. And then you just put them and then pinch them around the sides. And then scooping about a tablespoon of filling into the shells. Full disclosure, my package of jumbo shells were actually much smaller, so I'm gonna say they were medium for this recipe. Okay, well this one is gonna be for dinner tonight, so I can finish that and put it in the fridge. And then I'm still working on these. I ran out of noodles, but I will show you how I will prep those for the freezer. I'm gonna top it with a little more tomato sauce. This is where you would stop if you want to freeze it, and then you'll just cover it up with plastic wrap and tin foil and label it. Then top the shells with a cup of shredded mozzarella and optional parsley here. I double down with parsley before and after baking. And then cover and refrigerate unbaked for 1 to 2 days if you want to make ahead. All right. And that, my friend, is dinner. Okay, so I got the remaining noodles, the shells done, so I can finish this meal prep right here. So these ones are going in the freezer, and I just want to touch on a few points. So I'll state the obvious right now. It's so much easier just to pull something out of either the freezer or the fridge, pop it in, and you're done. But also, of course, there is the lack of dishes that you're gonna have to do. The third being that you can really focus on your side dish. My focus is to really pack in the nutrition. And just looking at this meal, it kind of lacks the bulk of veggies that I like to put into a meal. I can focus more on putting together a hearty salad or a sheet pan full of roasted veggies. So if you're trying to increase your veggies and make healthier meals for your family, it's really beneficial to make these ahead of time so that your main dish is done so you could really focus on your side. Phew, I got them all done. Now it's time to pack them up for the freezer. You'll want to wrap them in plastic wrap and tinfoil if you don't have these covers, and be sure to label with the date, what it is, and reheating instructions, such as, in this case, covering with more cheese and sauce and parsley if that's your jam, and baking instructions. And then label it again, 5, and it's ready for the freezer. I paired it with a simple yet delicious green salad where you just make the dressing right on top of the greens for extra ease. So on top of a bowl of mixed greens, just squeeze some lemon juice, pour in some extra virgin olive oil, some good sea salt, fresh cracked pepper. Always mix it in between and taste and adjust as you go along. Then shave some Parmesan. And I love adding a little lemon zest, and you are good. To bake, cover with foil and bake in a 375-degree Fahrenheit oven for 30 minutes. And the sauce should be bubbling at the edges. Remove foil and broil for 2 to 4 more minutes to lightly brown the cheese. Remove from the oven and garnish with parsley to serve. All right, guys, so my next recipe I'm sharing with you is spaghetti and meatballs, but hear me out. I know what you're thinking. Why is she sharing spaghetti and meatballs when we all know how to make it already? But it's more about the freezer-friendly components, the meal prep aspect, the ingredients that I include, and the tools that I use that make life so much easier when you're prepping ahead of time and you just want it all to come together. I'm gonna show you my favorite turkey meatball recipe, which is one of my favorite freezer components to meal prep, because you can just make the meatballs and freeze them from raw. You don't even have to cook them until game day, you just pull them out of the freezer and you can put them in the oven while they're still frozen. So it just makes life so much easier. They're so much better than the store-bought kind with all seriously, they put some weird ingredients in those meatballs and seed oils and stuff that you want to avoid. So let me show you those delicious meatballs, but also some of my favorite tools. This has been a game changer for us. Let me take you through a little walkthrough of how I use it. So this is our 5-quart all-clad stainless steel pot and steamer basket. And I love this especially for nights like this where I'm making spaghetti, where you can boil the pasta in here and steam the broccoli or veggie at the same time. So I will show you with this broccoli. So it begins with filling this guy up. All right, so we're gonna get this guy going. You're supposed to salt your water. This is something I learned in culinary school. As salty as the sea, and it really flavors your pasta and makes such a difference. So if you think that that's too much, maybe add a little more. And it'll help you bring your water up to boil a lot faster as well. So while that goes, I put the basket, just add the broccoli, and then just cover it so it starts to steam the veggies while the water gets boiling, and then you can actually have them go at the same time, and it'll all come together so quickly while your turkey meatballs are baking in the oven. So another reason why I love this meal is that it was so affordable. We use this organic whole wheat pasta, and I'm a huge fan of anything that increases fiber in our diets and has some good protein too. Plus super affordable. Also, I got the pasta sauce on sale, which was a thumbs up. I stocked up on those. I just grabbed them through a whole bunch in my cart. Because that's what you do when something great is on sale, just load it up. And also the turkey, I usually get the Simple Truth, organic or free range, but This one was on sale and I couldn't pass up a good deal because I need to pinch pennies wherever I can. And if I don't think it's gonna like greatly affect my family's health by purchasing this over the other, then that's fine. Do what you can for your family, but just to be conscious about what you're doing is half the battle, and putting love into it as well, because it all matters. Okay, so let's make this. One of my favorite flavors in life is roasted garlic, and it is so dang easy. You just cut off the ends, peel off the loose stuff, smear with olive oil, salt and pepper, scrunch it up in foil, and bake at 400 Fahrenheit for about 30 minutes or until soft. And then you just squeeze them out and add them to everything, including my turkey meatballs. So to a large bowl, add about 1/4 cup diced onion, 3 cloves of roasted garlic, or minced works just as well, 1 pound of ground turkey, of course. Crack in 1 egg, 1 teaspoon Worcestershire, 2 teaspoons tomato paste, a teaspoon Italian seasoning, half a cup of breadcrumbs, 1/4 cup of shredded Parmesan, some sea salt and pepper. I like to mix it up with a fork at first and then just start working it and eventually move on to your hands. It's gonna get messy, my friends. Then give your pan and turkey a good spray of olive oil because I find that turkey can be rather dry at times. Then roll them up and lay them out. This is a stage where you can freeze them right on this tray. You'll just flash freeze them this way, and then once frozen, just pack them up in a freezer safe bag for up to 3 months. And before baking, I like to give them another spritz and then bake at 400 Fahrenheit for 15 to 20 minutes or until they reach 165 Fahrenheit internal temp and are nice and golden brown. All right, with that remaining head of roasted garlic, we're going to add that and a little diced onion to the jarred marinara just like we did for the shells. So let's elevate that jarred stuff. Just add a little olive oil to a pan and add the onion and garlic. Then just pour in the marinara, some Italian seasoning. Then you can add in your cooked meatballs and let that simmer while you finish preparing your pasta and veggie. All right, time to add the pasta. Just get it submerged and give it a stir, and you can cover it while your broccoli still cooks. To test if the broccoli's done, you can do a quick fork test. So if the fork slides in easily, but the broccoli still holds its shape, you're good to go. The sweet spot is the fork goes in easily and the broccoli isn't too mushy. To season, I love using unrefined coconut oil and some salt and pepper. And of course, this can be made ahead of time too. Just cover the dish with tinfoil and pop it back in the fridge. And when it's time for dinner, take it out, remove the foil, and you can microwave it in increments of 30 seconds until warm again. I love how everything just comes together and it tastes even better with the homemade meatballs and just the extra love put into everything. And top the pasta with some fresh shaved Parmesan and even some red pepper flakes for the spice lovers. Hope your family loves this, and let me know in the comments if you try these and how you like them. Thanks so much.